right now, I can't make sense of this game whatsoever. We were incredibly disappointing. We were so bad today. Today, I didn't see a team. I did not see a team. I saw individuals. I saw no chemistry. I saw no understanding. I saw no cohesion whatsoever. I can't remember one serious chance we made in that second half either, you guys. And for me, it feels like an issue I've been seeing for way too long now of a lack of real attacking quality that's been compounding and compounding over the months and over the months. And it's just like, if you're not seeing improvements all the way back then, how can you see new improvements right now? Other than signing Raheem Sterling, we haven't really upgraded this attack whatsoever. We have a lot of unhappy players. We have a player in Hakim Ziyech that's set to sign for Ajax on loan. We've got Pulisic, who was desperate to want to leave us. In the end, Todd Bowley told him to stay. And after that, you're looking at the rest of the attack, and I'm just kind of thinking, how much can we get productivity-wise out from using attacking midfield players in Havertz and in Mason Mount? Because for me, they're looking a bit lethargic, a bit slow, and I think that's the thing in general I'm seeing. I'm not seeing a Chelsea team that has that much intensity anymore. And I'm a bit worried because Southampton have done something that Leeds have done now, and they've outrun us. They've clocked more kilometres against us, and they've outfought us. And, this never happens under Tuchel teams. Could this be down to pre-season maybe? It wasn't the most ideal situation. We had so many players. I had to distribute the minutes out towards them. No one was fully fit. And we saw that in that Arsenal defeat where we got absolutely bad and trounced. And, now when you've lost a midfield on top of maybe having fitness concerns and injuries, because no Reece James because he's out with illness, no Trevor Chalobah, and even in this game today, we pick up another injury with Loftus-Cheek picking up a small one as well too, forcing Tuchel to have to use a not fully fit Mateo Kovacic in midfield. And I get a bit worried because this is exactly why Kante has gone down this route of getting never-ending injuries after injuries, because you're constantly getting rushed back sooner than you actually should. So currently, it does kind of seem like we have to make a massive attempt now to try and sign Frankie de Jong whilst he is in London, because we need someone in midfield. And it's quite obvious that Thomas Tuchel just doesn't really rate Billy Gilmour ever since he came here, actually. It's not looking ideal. But I don't know. I'm not using this as an excuse. And I don't like when sometimes when I try to understand things, it's kind of reduced down to making excuses. Listen, other major factors happen to contribute to this loss today. But that's one factor I think that can play a small part, with many smaller parts adding up to paint that full picture. But I think one of the main issues, you guys, is that I'm not really seeing any improvements in the style of play. And I'm worried that our guys getting a bit tired now and a bit drained from playing this style of football, because it does ask a lot from you. It does ask a lot of pressing and running. And I guess the situation doesn't help when you have a lot of new signings still looking to gel into the team as well too. No midfield that's not fully fit, plus an attack that has no ideas either. And I'm not too sure, you guys, is looking quite worrying. And even looking at Tuchel after the game post-match, he didn't seem to be that energetic or enthusiastic. There seems to be no energy in him. I'm hoping he's okay. I'm seeing some uncharacteristic things that I'd never normally ever see from Thomas Tuchel. And maybe I'm just thinking way too deep from this. Of course, you guys will let me know in the comment section. We know that he's going through something like a divorce. For people that have gone through divorces or been through them with families and stuff like that, it's not an easy period. And, could the personals maybe be affecting his life at this point in time? Who knows? Because I don't know. I just feel like I'm not necessarily seeing the same Tuchel. And it's based on things like decisions in-game. The in-game management hasn't been on point. I'm looking at certain substitutions being made. They're not always having the same impact. I'm looking at certain lineups. So you're thinking maybe there's some guys in the team that could do some time on the bench now to wake up and fix up. And we could give opportunities to other guys that look quite dangerous. And I'll be touching on Armando Broja later on. But still though, I feel like I want to maybe discuss and break down this game. I think the most important thing to start with now is the formation we used today. Now, it did seem to be something of a 4-3-3. I'm sure maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was a 4-2-2-2. But to me, it did look like a 4-3-3 style system. And I don't know. I saw a few positives. At the start of the game, maybe the first 20-25 minutes, we looked okay. We didn't look too bad. I felt like we had numbers attacking inside the box. It's something you don't see all the time. We were able to quickly find guys out wide, especially Kai Havertz receiving a lot of balls out wide on the left-hand side. I thought Raheem Sterling playing up front as a false nine was a bit interesting, because you're thinking, okay, in a game like this where it's open, receiving wide on the left could create more danger there for us, knowing that he has that ability to get past his man and create things from 1v1 situations. I was a bit confused to see Kai Havertz playing large parts of the game out on the left. And a part of me thinks, we know Havertz is supposed to play up front. Is he not following instructions maybe? Is this like him being frustrated at being used as a 9? Because he's not used as a false 9. Let's get that straight. False 9 implies you're dropping deep into positions, of course, to link up the midfield. He doesn't do that whatsoever. He plays like a target man, in a sense, and is isolated quite a lot of the time. Is he doing that and not following instructions? Who knows? Because it wasn't making too much sense, to be honest. But still, after those first 25 minutes, I think that was the best of what we could offer. It was nice that Sterling got another goal in this game today. I thought he looked quite dangerous, in particular in that first half. And, you know, we did deserve leading because we were breaking away quite a lot. Mount looked quite influential. I like some of the interchange between Kai and Sterling at the time as well too. And the lead was deserved. But straight again, you know, from a set piece, we're not looking too strong from them. We're not as imposing from set pieces anymore. We look very weak. Last season, Rudiger was a colossal at the back, winning everything. And I do feel like at times we do miss your Rudigers and your Christensens. And maybe we didn't appreciate these guys enough because, yeah, I can understand the new guys need more time. But certain things like the communication, for example, the teamwork is not as strong as it was from last season. And it's like every time teams get a set piece against us, we're conceding a goal from it. I thought the Romeo Lavia guy, who Southampton signed from Man City, put in a top game against us. He did take his goal spectacularly well, it has to be said. He took it very quickly and he aimed in a certain position to make it hard for Mendy to see where the ball was going. Maybe Koulibaly should have got himself in the trajectory of that shot then. He kind of just ducked out the way, didn't make sense. He should have just taken it, to be honest with you. And then we go 1-1, and it kind of feels like heads forever time when that happens. You know, once games are in moments like that, we don't take control anymore. And is any surprise that before the first half ends, we concede yet again from another counter-attack down the flanks? This time it was good play where like a reverse cutback pass was played into the box, which took out our entire defence. And it was an easy goal for Armstrong to score. But still, you're kind of hoping you get to the second half and it's like, okay, what are we going to see in this team now? How are we going to get back in this game? There is time to still come back and make something happen. And unfortunately, we didn't see nada. I guess one of the only positives actually in that second half was actually finally seeing Armando Broja playing. And I swear in the space of that 2-minute spell, he completed more dribbles than what I've seen Kai Havertz do now in the past, 3 months. He came on, he was direct, looking to make things happen, looking to take on his man, looking to use that physicality. And it's just like, come on, if certain guys' form isn't as consistent as you want it to be, why are you not using the squads? That's what you should be doing. It does feel like Armando Broja does deserve to get an opportunity here. And I worry for these guys sometimes because we're still looking to sign your Aubameyangs and get other forwards to come in, which will continue to limit, of course, the game time for certain players. But Broja showed a lot of promise. He got on the end of a Sterling cross to try and force something with a header. And he seems like he can give us something at least on the counter-attack due to that directness he brings. So, you know, he deserves a pat on the back. That was a decent performance from him. But even then, some of the subs, I'm just not really getting it. Like I was saying before, Havertz, you know, he missed an opportunity. He has a habit of doing that, but I am going to sympathize because a guy like this isn't that clinical where he will take 1 out of every 2 shots that come his way. No, not at this age. He is not carrying Benzema at 23, 22 years old. So we have to be realistic. I feel though that his use just doesn't make sense. I mean, seeing Havertz on the left-hand side, so Sterling can play up front with Ziyech on the right. You're not doing these guys any favours to actually try and play football and ball out. You know, I've always felt Havertz is very good at linking up and connecting with players. I mean, you kind of isolate him in these wide positions where he has no one to connect or link up with. You take away his best parts of his game, which is that ability to drift inside unmarked and score. And we don't use that skill set whatsoever. We have to start doing that. He has been poor. He has been disappointing. And we've been seeing this actually for the past 24 months. It's only taken a lot of people to actually realise, oh, wait, I've not seen any improvements in Kai Havertz whatsoever. It's not just down to the player, you guys. You know, he's done well in terms of his physiology, the work rate, because he couldn't defend before. A bit more of a physical presence for us, but I kind of feel that it's the system that's kind of holding this guy's game back and holding a few of these guys back. And it's just like, we can keep on spending money and spending money and spending money, but if the framework and foundations aren't fully on point or as solid, it means nothing. It's diminishing returns. It means nada. You know, I want to see things like Mount playing in midfield now. You know, he's not going to become a world-class attacking mid, even though he can do that and he can play a lot of roles to a higher level. Let this guy grow to develop to be the best player he can be. I think Havertz, there needs to be a new strategy for him because he's not as effective playing as a striker or this forward for us. He just isn't. Otherwise, we'd have seen this now. It wouldn't take us 2 years to try and see something. I guess saying things, you know, we're spending a lot of money. We've spent hundreds of millions on a new defence now. You know, Gavardio is set to sign. Of course, you guys watched the news video that I dropped earlier tonight. Fofana coming tomorrow as well too. Koulibaly, Cucurella, spending a crap ton of money. But, you know, the most important area that has not been addressed for years and years now is a proper midfield enforcer. We need that enforcer, of course, to help us close the spaces behind us when we play a bit more expansively, because we have to now. You know, we can't be this well-coached drill team forever. I don't think we have the players that can really take this style of football to the absolute heights and levels. You need a lot more smaller, lower center of gravity style of players that have that press resistance. You know, that's the type of profiles you need that can, you know, operate and move in positions so seamlessly and with flow and be able to play in those tight spaces. I've always thought they were a lot more powerful and a lot more intense, and I think we do need that verticality in our game. It's a shame. It's annoying, and now I'm a bit worried now for the West Ham game. We just don't quite look the same, and with no midfield, basically, we have to see what happens. You know, it's not looking good right now. Let's hope things improve, and let's hope that at least some of the deals that we get before the window ends will help to plug some of the fitness issues we're currently seeing in the squad right now, because a lot of these guys are looking quite tired. So, you guys want to end things? Please share your thoughts and opinions. I want to get an understanding of how you felt about this game. And on that note, I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.